There we go. Today has just been one of those days. God.
Hey, to be fair,
technology.
Mama said there'd be days like this. Mama said there'd be days like this. Mama said.
All right, so welcome to the K Huddle. So we had a little bit of an issue. I don't know if those of you have experienced this before. Whenever you're about to do something with your work computer, and all of a sudden, just then and there, it wants to either do an update or freeze, and everything that we try to do here in the radio world, is all timely.
Mm-hmm.
So here we are. We're slightly behind with today. But man, we've got a fantastic K Huddle for you today. This is the entire K92.3 on-air staff, and here we are.
Hello.
Where we come together on Thursdays.
Yeah.
And I'm like still trying to see if I can edit something here. Don't worry. Don't
Are you
mind
doing
me.
other work over there?
All right, so
It's a good
today
time for
we've
it.
got a country artist that's going to meet up with us here in just a little bit. But first, here, you know what? I'll even turn on comments so this way we can see how everybody's doing. Shannon, Marcia, Judy. For those of you who are watching the stream, this also is turned into a podcast. So if you're listening to us from around the world, we have people in Alaska, people in Texas that listen. So this is the on-air staff. And right now you'll hear us mention people commenting as we do this live stream on YouTube and Facebook.
Hi, Mom. We shout out our parents who hop on here too.
Can I gripe about something real quick?
Sure.
Okay. So Melissa was in the room for it. So the wonderful band of Parmalee, which I think is still in Florida, and maybe they're watching this right now. We love them. I got a chance to catch up with Matt from Parmalee, and I brought up something with him because where are they at, Melissa? Busch Gardens this week? Okay. So Matt played this past weekend and the weekend before that. And I said, hey, so I made a dad joke to you a couple of years ago backstage at the ACMs. And I said, you guys should come up with a cooking show and have a recipe for chicken and call it chicken parmalee. But instead of chicken parmesan, where it's tomato sauce, you should put on other sauces. So that way, like, make it unique, make it different to you. And he's like laughed and he's like, that's a really good idea. And then after the interview, that's when you have the picture time, you know, guys, like when you're like, oh, it's time to take a picture for social media. So I said to him, like, hey, you really think that's a good idea? You heard that before? He goes, yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. That's not the first time. So I said to Melissa, I'm like, do you think it's true? And she's like, absolutely not. Your ideas are crazy.
No. I said they definitely heard the Parmesan Parmalee thing, but not the other sauces thing.
Yeah.
There's no way that anyone has ever said put other sauces on chicken Parmesan.
Yeah, I'm like, maybe like a soy sauce or like a teriyaki, like do it up good. And he's like, yeah.
And then he walked away.
And then so I brought it up to him again. I'm like, do you remember that? Did people actually say it? Yeah, all the time. People
He also
bring it
said
up.
he remembered it. I guarantee you he didn't.
You don't think so? Are you saying I'm not memorable?
I mean, no. I'm just saying.
The comments.
Do you guys try to
done a
do
lot of
that?
interviews.
Like when you have an interview with people, like I brought up different, you know, the movie The Fugitive. Obi probably is the only one that saw it.
Yeah.
Okay. So the
It's
person,
with Harrison Ford.
the person that attacked Harrison Ford had a prosthetic limb. And I almost lived in the prosthetic limb capital of the world in Indiana. And I made a reference to it and was joking around with Luke Combs. And years later, he said, I still remember that, but that prosthetic limb joke that you told me.
What? You lost me 2 minutes ago. I don't even know where you went from Parmesan to prosthetic legs or something.
Yeah, you were there next to me. You were there next to me.
Yeah,
This is
people don't
backstage at House of
remember what
Blues.
you're talking about. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
You guys don't listen, okay? But
So-
they're told that they have to.
So I will say this, speaking into the artist realm, because, you know, we do like to talk about some of the behind the scenes in radio, is that there'll be people who will come up to us and say, for instance, tonight we've got Justin Moore. So Justin Moore is going to be at the barn. And so people will be like, man, hanging out with Justin Moore must be so cool, man. What is he like? And really, we get 10 minutes. We get 10 minutes with these individuals. And so when you talk about like Parmalee, if Parmalee even remembers the question, if we only get 10 minutes with them and they get 10 minutes with everybody around the country who's in country music, it does give us a little bit of a challenge. We want to be remembered by them, right?
Yeah.
Do you guys, you don't try to make an effort though to like do it, to like bring up something that is specially you to see years later? Like, and maybe this is different for Ashley because behind the scenes, you're in the music realm, Ashley.
Right. Yeah.
So they,
I'm exempt from this question. I
not
think.
that they have to be a little bit more Like, but for instance, when
Businessy.
you were engaged, the artists have reps like managers that are like, "Hey, Ashley just got engaged," and then they might bring it up to you because they know about you, but they don't know anything about Obi and myself. Like, if any of that stuff happened, the reps aren't going to know that.
Right.
So you don't make like an effort, or maybe before you were a music director, did you think about that to make an effort to stand out?
Having good interviews is definitely key. Yeah, for sure.
Well, we know John Party definitely remembers Slater from the All-Star Jam because
Why?
Slater tried to make him shove a bunch of marshmallows in his mouth.
I tried to, and he said, "I will not do that, sir."
Wait, well, speaking of artists, because we are a little bit on a time crunch today, we're going to be having an artist join us here in just a second. We were with her yesterday, and she has to be on the road by noon. So she's going to be hopping in here, and she's our up next artist. Her name's Caitlin Smith, which is kind of funny as Slater's talking about my other role here with the station and with artists and with record labels and dealing with them. That's how we're able to have them join us for things like this. But Caitlin Smith, yesterday we all got to see her, and like everybody was blown away, right? Obi was like, "Oh my God, your voice!" You went up to her right away and told her all about it.
Yeah, because there's certain artists that just all they have to do is hit the first couple notes, and you're like, "Oh my God, this person's a somebody." Yeah.
Oh look, there she is.
All right, you ready to add?
Yeah.
All right.
One. Hold, please.
Wrong, Caitlin.
You don't want this. You don't want this.
We're taking you out of here. You're out of here.
Hey, guys.
Hey, we were just giving you a proper intro because we know you got to get on the road by noon, and how we got to meet you yesterday. And we didn't even get through like the things that you've already been a part of. So if you want to introduce yourself and tell everyone, because we already heard it, it's awesome. Like, you're not a new artist, really.
No, I mean, I call my my journey the long and winding road. I've been in Nashville for 10 years now, and I moved from Minnesota originally. Grew up, singing at a young age. I was probably 8 years old when I started singing country music at county fairs and, anywhere that would take me and that would listen. And so I made my way down to Nashville when I was about 16, and I saw, Music City, but I also found that it was Songwriter City. And I was like, wow, you can make songs up for a job. That's great. So that became my plan B. I was like, I want to be an artist, but songwriting, that's a great plan B. I'll figure out what I want to say. Because I was seeing like you can have the best voice, but if you don't have, the songs, you're not going to have much of a career. So I started writing songs, and then it started working, and people started recording my songs, which was crazy. And then I had heroes like recording my songs, people like Garth Brooks and Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers, like some bucket list artists were recording my music, which was so cool. But as the years went on, it got harder and harder for me to give my songs up, and I missed the stage. And so I guess that brings us to here we are now. I'm bringing my first single to country radio, and I'm so excited. Woohoo! So
We're so excited.
Short version of it, I guess.
No, you're the first person to join, the first artist to join us on our K Huddle that we do every Thursday live. So this is really cool. We thought this would be a great opportunity. You're an up next artist, and we got to hear you sing the song that you wrote that Meghan Trainor and John Legend put out yesterday, the huge hit. And then the songs of your own. You talk about writing for Garth Brooks and Dolly and Kenny. And when you said that, even like we're around the same age, and I'm like, oh my gosh, she's so young. And to have superstars like Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton to have written one of the songs to have sang one of the songs you wrote, that's huge. What song was that?
It's crazy. It's called You Can't Make Old Friends. And I mean, the cool thing with that song too is they wanted to celebrate 30 years of duetting, like since Islands in the Stream. And so they recorded You Can't Make Old Friends to duet one last time. And I mean, every time I see it, I still cry. I can't believe it's real.
Real. Well, I know you agreed last night. Melissa, Caitlin, and I were at dinner with some other coworkers, and she said she would love to perform, which is so cool. So everyone on our Facebook Live and YouTube Live is going to get a little treat today.
I would love to. Thanks for asking me. Thanks, guys, for having me on, too. And P.S., dinner was so much fun last night.
It was.
I'm still dreaming about that food. It was amazing. So
we went to Bosphorus in Winter Park.
I wouldn't know. I wasn't invited.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Obi.
Unreal. All right, you take over, Caitlin.
All right, here is my new single with Old Dominion. This is called I Can't. This ain't a 20-minute town. It don't look the same. Red lights, bar streets, too much concrete. I don't recognize. Ain't a 20-minute call. No, you don't call me at all. Outside rain falls, curtains half drawn. I'm here talking to the wall. All the time and the whiskey I've wasted that I can never get back. Oh, I've tried to find the courage just to face it, but I can't. And I'm tired of the feeling like a stranger over and over again. Oh, and everything around me keeps changing, but I can't. Feels impossible to move sometimes, like you're still in the room. Smoke on my breath, chains on my chest, damn, you won't cut me loose. I just gotta get out of here, get up off the floor, find my senses, 'cause you meant you're not coming back no more. All the time and the whiskey I've wasted that I can never get back. I'm trying to find the courage to face it. I can't. And I'm tired of you feeling like a stranger over and over again. When everything around me keeps changing, but I can't. Oh, I can't. All the time, whiskey I wasted that I ain't ever getting back. I've tried to find the courage just to face it, but I can't. And I'm tired of you feeling like a stranger over and over again. When everything around me keeps changing, but I can't. As hard as I try, I can't. As hard as I try, I can't. As hard as I try, I can't.
Wow.
Yeah!
Wow.
Thank you guys.
Caitlin, I had a question. So when you're doing a show, do you lock eyes at all with somebody in the crowd? Because I always get made fun of like making this face when I really like music. Does it ever throw you off? And it's like, what's that face about?
Oh, I love it. I've seen all the faces and I'm all about it. And the goal too, when you're on stage, is like, you want to look at someone and stare at them until they're uncomfortable and look away. Which is a fun game that I like to play.
For real.
Yeah, so yesterday we had an opportunity to see you do this at the barn where we're going to be tonight, and to follow up with what Slater said, there was a couple of times where I thought you were singing to me.
I really was.
Okay, thank you.
That's all part of the game. Eye contact.
I'm buying an album right now.
Yay! I love it.
But too, your year last year, we were talking about it last night, how here you were about to have a whole tour opening for Little Big Town. And then, of course, we've all talked about 2020, and hopefully we're getting ready to move on, because now this is the first time we're even getting to meet you, even though you've already done so many different things and been so successful.
Man, I know 2020 didn't work out for anyone, right? I was out on the road with Little Big Town. We got to do half the tour, which is still better than nothing, right? And then we were going to open for Maren Morris and had a bunch of George Strait Stadium dates on the calendar. And so, and I released my album Supernova right on March 13th, which was the day everything locked down for us. And so, yeah, nothing went as planned, but I feel grateful because I think of this single as my silver lining. This collaboration with Old Dominion would have never happened without the pandemic. I released the album right on lockdown. And so my label and I were like, well, let's try and get it in front of more people by re-releasing the record as a deluxe in the fall of 2020. And so because of that, we sat down, we thought about some collaboration ideas, and that's where the Old Dominion idea was born. And so, even though 2020 didn't quite work out like any of us had planned, there's definitely been some silver linings as well. So thank you for that. I'm an optimist.
Yeah.
You know what, Caitlin, can you speak? Because right now we've got people who listen from around the world. They listen to this because it's not only a stream, it's a podcast. But can you speak into what it means when somebody requests your song?
What it means when someone requests my song? I mean, it means literally everything, like on a station. And I'm learning so much. I've been on the writing side for so long and watched my songs on the charts, but also being an artist, and a new artist, it's really hard to get out there. And so when someone calls and requests, play Caitlin Smith, that absolutely means the world. And I don't know what else to say. It's that would be really cool if you do that.
You're awesome. One of the other things that we wanted to incorporate you into, and I was telling you last night, we get on here every Thursday. We talk about, maybe it's something that came up on the morning show. Maybe it's something Slater and Melissa are talking about, but we were talking about things that you've bought on the side of the road before. Because Florida, we have citrus, we have boiled peanuts. Roses. I know you've traveled like crazy. Is there anything that you've bought while on the road?
We have incredible sweet corn, and we make up in Minnesota where I'm from, and so we make trips down to the sweet corn stand for sure. And it's only you can only get it July and August. That's when it's really good. But Nick says hi from Illinois. Hi, Nick. Yeah, what else have I bought on the side of the road? I've also unashamedly picked up chairs that people are out, and I was with my sister-in-law. She picked up a tiny trampoline for her kids. I thought that was a good one too, but
that's awesome.
But I love stopping, and I love stopping on the side of the road, and when we're touring and there's wineries, I'm pull the car over, I've done that a couple times. We're detouring the plans. We're pulling over. We're getting wine. So,
I mean, I would do the exact same thing.
Try the local.
Yeah, you would.
The local
always
stuff.
a good decision.
Do any of them stand out as being oh, that was so good? Next time
I was in Willamette Valley for a festival, and there was this Willamette Valley vineyard that I will never forget. I was actually by myself, and I had time to kill. I played the festival, was driving my rental car, I was like, a winery, wee! And then I ended up having the best solo date ever. It was amazing.
So cool. So cool. All right. Well, here, let's go around the room. Anybody, besides I think we talked about it on the air today, gator jerky, peaches, local honey,
boiled peanuts for sure,
orchids.
Oh, wow.
Melissa, anything? Your man ever buy you anything off the side of a road?
I mean, he might have gotten a rose if he came home with it. I didn't say, where did you get this? So that's I've never done it. So
Slater?
I've always been tempted to do random kind of jerkies. It's always underneath the bridge that they have.
It is.
And
I'm under the bridge.
I think it's because if the weather is inclement, then you're okay. You don't have to worry about eating wet jerky.
I take that back. Now that you say under the bridge, there was a food truck right off the highway, right by my exit sorry, I have to take this off my echo. So right when I exit to get off the highway for my house, there's a food truck and it's barbecue. And my husband has pulled over there before, and he's like, this smells amazing every single time. There's always a line. So it's good because there's a line of people. So he's done that. So does that count?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
And Ashley's mom is in the chat right now,
Hey,
Meg
Mom.
Stegbauer, and she just wrote wood for the fireplace.
Oh, yeah.
Because
That's
Florida's so
smart.
cold.
Oh,
You know
smart.
what?
we had to cut down pieces of our tree, and Matt had it in the backyard, and it's all gone. So people definitely picked it up out of our backyard.
Wow. Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
and like you said, because Florida's so cold, the days it is cold, firewood sells out all over Central Florida because we just got a fire pit and we literally have such a hard time finding it when you know the weather's going to be nice.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Caitlin, your home is Minnesota, right?
Yes.
I mean, we're talking about some much colder days than what we experience here,
It is
right?
much colder. It's an entirely different universe.
What did you say last night? Something about the -25?
Yeah, we
Oh.
hit -25 this year, and we had this whole ice fishing trip planned, and it got ruined just because it was like way too cold. So,
Right now, it's 37 in Minnesota, is what it
oh
says.
yeah, balmy, a balmy 37.
We need you today.
Oh my god. Well, you're awesome. I know you got to hit the road, and because Caitlin is really introducing herself to all sorts of people through this week. And Caitlin Smith, again, you guys will hear her song on K92.3. It's been on. Definitely let us know what you think about it. Hopefully we can keep playing it and supporting Caitlin. And this is so cool to have you on here because we never get to do this. And obviously right now it's the only way to kind of introduce you to our audience.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me on, and I love meeting y'all, and can't wait to see you again in the future. We'll have a big party at the margaritas, I hope.
Yeah.
Margaritas and wine.
Safe travels.
But, yes.
Well, thank you again for your time. Yeah, continued blessings to you, girl. You're going to the top. So can't wait to
Thank
see you.
you
out there.
guys. Appreciate y'all. We'll see you soon.
Hi,
Hey,
Caitlin.
Caitlin.
Bye.
All right,
That
that
was
was
cool,
nice.
right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Hey, so hold on. This is actually a perfect time to pivot to what we're going to be doing next week.
Which
Are we trying to make this happen next week, Thursday? Are we
My
trying to get
brain-
together with Twiggy?
Yes. You
yeah.
like my brain can't I have so much going on up here. They're like, okay, remind me.
Yeah,
What's
but hold
next
on.
week?
Hold on. Hands in the air. How many people are like that today? That your brain is just all over the freaking place,
Oh,
right?
Actually,
over.
really good.
Like
That was
like
me yesterday.
like spaghettis
better
up
today.
there, like spaghettis. But next Thursday, Ashley. So I it's funny. Ashley was so interested in meeting Twiggy. There you
If you're
go.
watching,
That's video. Hold on. Let me put you up on the solo.
The
Look,
water skiing squirrel.
that's Twiggy, the water skiing squirrel.
But Obi, you're the one that made this all happen, really, because you had Chuck's number and
Well-
you just handed it over to me because you're like, wait, you're really making this happen.
Yeah, Ashley's been obsessed with the squirrels in her backyard for probably the past year, 2 years. And so this was just perfect that I ended up knowing Chuck because of the years that I've been on the radio here in Orlando. I don't even know how I know Chuck.
He told me he met you at a cowboy show. It was like a New Faces showcase, and he bumped into you
Boom.
there.
Boom.
there you go.
See, and that's where we make connections, y'all. We're crazy locals. That's a testimony right there. So, anyways, we're gonna have Twiggy next week.
We're actually having to go. We're gonna go to our boss's house who has a pool, and Twiggy, the guy's gonna let Obi and I use the what's it called? It's like a
The
remote
The
control,
remote control boat.
Mm.
for the boat and the water skis. He said he'll let us do it. So that is so
Oh,
exciting.
God.
I called Obi and Steve as our boss, so excited about this the other day. But I'm like, Steve, we just need your pool. can we have the pool?
It's because we want a day off to lounge around in the sun.
Right?
I'm kind of upset about this because I asked if I could go swimming and he said no, but he's letting a random squirrel just jump in there. He's like, I don't know where you've been. It's just a squirrel.
I don't know. I think it's weird, and I feel like I'm that annoying person who talks about the squirrels, but is there anybody else that is obsessed with any other type of animal? Like, I'm not like buying squirrel paintings and putting that crap in my house, but I just love seeing them out in the backyard. It's so cool.
No.
I mean,
Yeah, I can't think of any.
raccoons are kind of cute.
Yeah.
You want one in your house?
Baby raccoons, not
Baby
like full-grown
raccoons.
adults.
Would you let a raccoon that knows how to water ski
if it
hang
was
in your pool?
if it was a taken care of, like, because I guarantee you Twiggy is very taken care of.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Well-
he's probably
well-
cleed daily. He's probably
Twiggy's
pampered.
Twiggy's
yeah,
taking
Like
care of their
you are,
mortgage. He
and that's
better
why
be.
he's
Yeah.
letting Twiggy in the pool.
This is the 10th Twiggy, by the way. His
Oh.
parent. Here's the
No,
story.
He's not being taken care of well at
No.
all.
Yes, they are.
You
They
mean years he's
started
been around.
in the 70s. He's been in TV commercials,
Ah.
movies, shows. Ron Burgundy in Anchorman. Is that a water skiing squirrel or something like that? That was
Wow.
So it's like Air Bud, kind of.
just, yeah,
Because there
he
were
is
many
the
buds.
star. Yep.
Hmm.
That's a good
Exactly.
comparison.
Yeah.
Good comparison.
Yeah.
Only for us though, because we're old. Any newbies are
Wait,
like,
I
air
don't know what
who?
that is. Are you kidding me?
Bro, my
You're old
kids.
as well.
I
My-
grew up
You
using,
were?
I grew up used to yell at my dog. I'd go, get away, just like the movie, just to see
So-
them actually run
Aw,
away.
So my
Greg.
kids are into Air Buddies, which are Air Bud. He got hooked up with a female,
Okay.
had a bunch of buddies,
Yeah.
and now the buddies are superstars. So
Wow.
those are the ones that my kids are watching.
And
Okay.
Obi's just into Bud.
No air.
Come on.
you know, some people. So, anyways, going back to see now, I don't even know how to pick it
Threw
from,
him off.
from there.
I'm sorry.
I'm
But
just
you're
la-
excited for Twiggy too, right?
Yeah, super excited for Twiggy. As a matter of fact, here's what's funny that so our boss is probably going to be on spring break. So he's allowing us access to his house, even though he's not even going to be there. So next week, y'all are in for a
You
treat.
see what Ann said? That
What?
Twiggy was in the Brad. She thinks he was in the Brad Paisley music video.
Oh my gosh, he might have been. Yes, he
He was in what?
was.
He was in what?
He was.
A Brad
Chuck
Paisley
did tell me
video.
that. He
Okay,
did.
so there you go. So we're gonna have so
Leave
just
it
like
to
we had.
Ann. I love her country music knowledge.
See, y'all, listen. This is what you're gonna get.
Mm.
You're gonna get some of the newbies like Caitlin today, and you're gonna get some of the legends like Twiggy on this show. Okay, that's the span that we cross.
Oh my gosh.
Fun.
Okay, but I wanted to bring up the fact that Melissa and Slater did this TikTok challenge, and that's hilarious because I saw it on TikTok, and then for you guys to try it and prove it.
The hands. And the
Yeah,
face
behind your
thing.
back.
Did Obi try it?
No, we haven't tried it. I didn't know if we could, just because.
What was it anyways? That you're supposed to try to be on
So-
your elbows and
no,
then
so
try to
you-
lift
yeah.
your elbows out without.
You get on your knees and you put your elbows on the floor. So you're on your knees and your elbows. and
Hold
your
on,
face
hold on,
is in your
hold on,
hands.
hold on. Hold on. Let's give you the full
Okay,
screen.
okay.
Boom.
So you're on your knees, your elbows are on the floor, your face is in your hands, and then you're supposed to move your arms at the same time behind your back, like almost like you're getting arrested. And men are not supposed to be able to balance themselves; they fall forward, whereas women can do it.
See, that's where I'm like the one that wants to go down the rabbit hole of why. Why aren't men their whole center
Because
of
of the
gravity
body
thing?
balance.
Yeah, it's the center of
Yeah.
gravity because it's
The
the,
body
same thing. We
balance.
did a chair one not that long ago where if you lean your head up against the wall and you try to pick up a chair, men can't pick it up and women can.
But why? Why do men and women have a different center of gravity? I'm
I don't know.
Googling this.
I mean, I always thought because you ladies are usually more top heavy, some
Oh
more
my
than others,
God.
but I thought
I'm
they
not
should
at
be the
all.
ones that fall down.
What we need to do is we need to find a man with man boobs and then try it.
Ooh.
That's I think
That's
I
just
think
going to help him even worse. Like it makes it harder.
I'll tell you, it's not going to hurt as bad because then there's some cushion.
I wouldn't suggest girls with fake ones either. Couldn't they burst if you fall on your
You
chest?
you can definitely. There
But
can
women
be a
won't
leak.
fall. That's the point. 'Cause we're
Right.
better.
You're
What?
better.
I'm sorry, that came out right.
At that particular, I still am like so curious as to why.
Well, there's
I'll,
now
I'll
a new-
research
Okay.
that on my own time.
Okay, well, while everyone in the chat, if you know any of the answers to this, again, I want to do a reset just because we've got people listening on the podcast, we've got people watching us on YouTube, on the Facebook stream, and we love this. This is every Thursday. This is every Thursday where we get together and we get to kind of show you the behind the scenes as this cast of this radio station allows you in, and we're in your lives too. Teresa, we know you. Ann, we know you. Obviously, the moms that are in here, there's no, I mean, we definitely know each other. So that's what this is. This is family, and no other radio station on this freaking planet allows this kind of opportunity where we can talk like this.
Why do you
So-
think that is? Why do you think they don't want to do it? You think they're afraid?
Oh,
Do we scare them?
So I'll tell you why. Because say a morning show like Ashley and I, if we're done at 10, that morning show wants to be gone, right?
Uh-huh.
Whoever's in this studio, sometimes there's an ego that takes over at 10 o'clock. So Melissa, thank you for allowing us the studio because really there are
I need
egos.
my space.
Yeah,
exactly. So and
I mean,
then
I do change the sign on the door to say Melissa's studio right at 10, but I allow them in.
It's
So,
true.
I'm just
and then
kidding.
and then some radio stations, the morning show doesn't even have a relationship with the night show
It's true.
because they're completely different times of day. So this is unique. That's why we always say that this is unique for
And
the
we
whole
actually
cast.
like each other.
It's nice.
Yeah.
there was a lot too. I know we got our podcast and stuff everyone can go back and listen to in the app, but like today on the morning show, we talked to a person who's been on the journey with Obi this entire time of the adoption process because the finalization is about to happen after 90 days. Ollie will officially be a part of the family. Tomorrow morning show, we're going to have the pilot who is going to be piloting the hot air balloon Saturday morning as we retry our attempt at that. So it's all you just never
Ashley-
know what's going to
Ashley's
go
like,
on.
just in case something goes wrong, I'm having you on the air so everyone knows exactly who you are.
That was the first time it got canceled, the whole thing because of weather. So they go out. I mean, we had to be up at like 4:00 in the morning. I had to be out there at 6. They want to take off at 7 because they try and do it before Mother Nature.
Yeah, wakes up.
Yeah.
Have you not been in a hot air balloon before?
Never.
Oh, I did a broadcast in a hot air balloon when they first had the wireless broadcast hookup in Burlington, Vermont. Because now everything is wireless. We can go and walk around if there's a fair or whatever. You guys know, like on the inside, that only really came about like 10 years ago, being able to go completely wireless and having studio quality. I did a hot air balloon and I was so nervous the entire time. And the guy's like, hey, while you're in the basket, lean over the edge. And I'm like, I'm not leaning over the edge. And he's like, look up. And I see all the fire. And I'm like, oh my God, it's either I'm underneath the fire.
Were you ready to come down or did you enjoy it?
It took a little bit. I'm not afraid of heights, but it is really kind of scary up there.
What do I have to, I don't have no idea. I've not researched it. I'm one that just is like, I don't want to know too much. I just like to go.
I would definitely bring some food, bring a little like picnic basket. Cause that way you can
somebody it's how romantic is it though with somebody in the basket?
I know, right?
It's pretty, as long as they're not staring at you or winking.
they're worried about getting you where, missing birds and.
Yeah, they don't want you to die. They care a lot about that.
You're like, sir, I would like to romantically kiss my wife right now. Can you please just
it's
turn
pretty
around?
good. Yeah, you feel his hand on the small of your back.
He's like taking a selfie.
He whispers in your ear as you're making out. He's like, get it, boy.
There's no escaping it. You're up there with him.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
my God.
So it is going to be cool because he'll be on the air tomorrow. But he did mention to us things about like the wind pattern. They kind of don't know where point B is going to be.
Yeah, they look at the land. Like, so I know where we leave from.
Right.
And then I think they have certain directions. So if it goes a certain direction, they know there's a plot of land that they end up landing on. That's about all I know.
Are you bringing a parachute?
Hopefully
in
he
case.
is.
They probably have some.
Yeah,
in the
hopefully they
basket.
have something like that.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't think a parachute has enough time to slow you down before hitting the ground.
It depends on how high are you
Wow,
going.
Obi, you're so
I don't know.
optimistic.
I don't know.
I mean, I guess anything helps, right?
Yeah,
I guess
you'd be base
an
jumping.
umbrella.
Just bring a
It might be like
windbreaker
one of those
jacket.
blow up dinghies.
She wants to have a squirrel. She wants the squirrel fly.
That would be awesome. I will video it, guys. Yes.
Oh
for
goodness,
sure.
good stuff. All right, okay. I don't want to overextend. How are we looking on time, everybody? How are we feeling?
We're about 40 minutes in.
I have 15 minutes till I have to get a Camp Kid Eddie 2-3 winner.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
15
Right.
minutes.
All right, yeah, spring break next week. That's right. The next time that we'll be talking, all of us will be from our boss's house with Twiggy, but
Yes!
it'll be during spring break.
Next Thursday
Which is why he might not be there and we'll be breaking in.
from location with the squirrel. I'm excited.
That's good. All right, okay. Anybody else got anything they want to impart? Y'all, how about your podcast?
Yes.
And what was the latest episode?
Slater went on a date and didn't tell me.
Oh.
It was a
So
secret
I had
date.
all
So
the
wait a minute.
questions to ask.
Wait a minute. Is he required to from now on?
No, but we had he's not required to tell me, but we had a thing where I was going to help him with his dating app. Like he asked me to help make him a profile. He asked me to do all these things with him. And then all of a sudden he comes in one day and he's like, oh, by the way, I did all of that. I didn't need air help at all. And I already went on a date.
But that's good for him, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
And I said, I'm like, I completely understand, but now I'm going to ask you all these questions
Well,
because now we've got all of the stuff we have to unpack.
In short, she set me up on a date on Valentine's Day, a first date with one of her friends. And the friend got mad because I said, hey, do you mind if I do a 60-second review while on the date of the food? And I asked her, and she said, oh, yeah, no, I expected it. I've seen them.
That's
They're great.
not what she said.
She is.
You're
I was
lying.
literally
You're
there.
full of it.
She
He's
said
full
that's
of it.
fine. And
He's
then she
making
got
it
mad
sound
at me
good.
that I
That's
busted
not
out my
happening.
phone and it's like, yeah, I don't think he was really into me. He did this, did this. And I'm like, okay, then forget it. Then I guess it doesn't work. So
that
I
does
don't
sound
want
like a second date. Like,
I don't want Melissa's opinion anymore. So I said,
I didn't say
forget
I was
it.
going to help you pick a date. I just said, hey, it'd be nice if, as a friend, you were like, oh, by the way, I did my profile already.
Next
So I
time.
didn't really need any help, but
So
I'm going on a
there's
date.
there's 4 other individuals, as Obi would say, that I'm talking to, and
At
I
the
will
same
let
time,
you
by the
pick
way.
which next one.
No, I don't want, I just want to know what to expect when we're going into a show and you decide to go, oh, by the way, I went on a date this weekend. That's all I'm saying. Just a heads up would be nice.
If you've never listened to the Sipping on Sweet Tea podcast, this is exactly.
I was gonna
how it
say,
goes.
Drama.
I'm switching
They're like
right
brother
now.
and sister.
Like I keep switching between cameras, like the
That's
both
what
of you
I'm talking
arguing,
about.
and I'm like,
It's a
this,
ping pong.
this is their podcast.
It's a lot. Every Wednesday night it goes up.
So-
Yeah, so it's up right now.
So again, that's there on the K92.3 app, right? They can get that right off the K92.3 app, which is free and anywhere where you search for your podcasts.
Yes, sir.
All right, y'all. It's about that time.
Hands in.
Oh
Hey,
yeah, our
Lots of,
huddle.
lots and lots of love. Like Ashley talked about, if you go back and you listen to our podcast, you'll know that tomorrow's the day that baby Oliver, who's being adopted, he'll be official. So that's cool. Thank you for the love there. And everybody else, guys, the family in here really do love you guys. And thank you all for making the time to love, peace, happiness, and all the other things that matter. 1, 2, 3. There's somebody walking outside the window right
I
now.
know. Who is? I feel like they keep pacing.
They do. I don't know who it is.
Imagine we're all getting fired.
We don't even have a video to tell us.
Visitors aren't allowed
This might be
right
the
now.
last time, guys.
All right, here we go, y'all. 1, 2, 3, break.
Break.
Cheers.
All right,
Bye,
y'all.
guys.
Have a fantastic day.